This is a recording by Senator Kenneth Spicer Wherry, who made a speech here in Lenoir, North Carolina in the late 40s and was introduced by the Republican Party Chairman at the time, who was J.E. Broyhill, owner of Broyhill Furniture Industries.
We take you now to the speaker's platform, and the next voice you will hear will be that of Mr. Broyhill.
Mr. Chairman, ladies, distinguished guests, and gentlemen, I thank you for the privilege of introducing the speaker of the evening. I have long looked forward to the occasion of presenting a man of his character, stature, to the citizens of Caldwell County and the state of North Carolina. Actually, he needs no introduction. To the good people of North Carolina, he has over the past 2 years been a star of hope for those of us who are hungry for good government and full, competent leadership. As Republican leader of the United States Senate, he has fought valiantly to preserve the freedom of the American people. He does not make his decisions on the basis of votes won or lost. He votes for the well-being of the American economy and its people, no matter how formidable the opposition. It has been my privilege to know the senator for several years, during which time I have developed a great admiration and respect for him. His sound judgment and faultless leadership have won for him the recognition of one of the nation's leading statesmen and legislators. It is with great pride and satisfaction that I present to the citizens of Caldwell County in the state of North Carolina the Honorable Kenneth S. Wherry.
Thank you, Ed Broyhill, for those most gracious words. Thank you, all of you, this great crowd that's assembled here tonight. I appreciate very much this welcome. I'm thankful for the band. I want to say as one Republican leader that this demonstrates that North Carolina can go Republican in 1950. My fellow Americans from my state of Nebraska, halfway across the continent, I bring to you patriotic, industrious North Carolinians cordial greetings and best wishes. Wherever we live, we Americans are one people, united in support of the Republic. It is upon the principles of our Republic that America has become great and strong. Those principles are the last hope for freedom-loving people in a tottering world. But our way of life is being challenged. Make no mistake about it. Our freedoms, our opportunities are hanging in the balance. For 16 years they've been undermined. Today, until today, alien-minded persons, some of them high in government, are boldly peddling their shabby wares. Fellow Americans, socialism has not worked anywhere, and we don't want it here. It is gratifying to see so many young people here. It shows you are concerned, deeply concerned about your future and the future of America. You are wondering what your heritage will be. When you take over the reins, will you inherit a government that has tossed overboard the precepts of Jefferson, Madison, Washington, and the unbroken line of the builders of America? Will you? Some of you are in high school, others in college. You're equipping yourselves to go into the arts, the sciences, agriculture, and industry. All you ask is an opportunity to make good, to earn a living, an opportunity to choose your course and field of activity to serve others, and to help build America to higher and higher goals. But today, these precious opportunities are in danger, all of them, and even more. Oh yes, There are among us people who act like ostriches. They bury their heads in the sand and say, this can't happen here. But it is happening here. We are being led down the same slippery road to socialism that Great Britain has traveled. On 1,000 fronts, in bill after bill before the Congress, your freedoms are being snuffed out. And all the time, these selfish interests sugarcoat their schemes with such pleasantly sounding words as the abundant life, prosperity, security, and happiness. You all know the Honorable James F. Burns of your sister state, South Carolina. Mr. Burns speaks from a wealth of experience in government, as United States Senator, as Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, and as Secretary of State. If these schemes, he says, are adopted, we are headed for statism, with workers, farmers, manufacturers, doctors, and lawyers alike pulling an oar as slaves in what Mr. Burns called the galley of the state. Former President Herbert Hoover, on his 75th birthday anniversary, gave this solemn warning that through government spending and taxation, our nation is blissfully traveling down the back road to statism. And we are already on the last mile. And listen to Dr. Edward North, who just resigned as chairman of the President's Council of Economic Advisors from his high post in the Council of the Truman administration. Solemnly warned that the Truman administration is leading the nation to disaster. On Mr. Truman's fiscal policy, he declared, and I quote his words, "I am not happy either when I see government slipping back in a deficit as a way of life in a period when production and employment are high, instead of putting its fiscal house in order and husbanding reserves to support the economy if less prosperous times overtake us." The words of Dr. North, President Truman's own advisor who just resigned. Why, all of these men have served their country. All spoke from the purest of patriotic motives without taint of partisanship. Only America, our beloved America, did they have in mind in sounding this alarm. Fellow Americans, I have just come from the firing line in Washington, where every day there is a clash between those of us who believe in and cherish representative Republican government and those who would supplant our way of life with government bosses. As they hatch out global schemes to be paid for by the American taxpayers, as they slash our tariff protections to a free trade basis, as they undermine America's whole economic structure, they piously chant. You haven't been heard yet, have you? You remember the story of the man who fell off a 10-story building? As he was plunging past the second floor, a friend looked out the window and recognized the falling man and yelled, "How are you, Bill?" Bill responded, "I'm all right so far." Well, likewise, the full devastating impact of the socialistic welfare state upon the American economy has yet to be felt. But the direction we are traveling, the socialistic spendthrift road, has ruined every country that has traveled it. It is as plain as the nose on your face. And your job as young Republicans, your job as Americans is to make sure that all the people see it. The government bosses of the farewell deal, farewell because they're on their way out in 1950, never show the price tags on their rosy promises. Free medicine, free houses, free education, free food under the Brandon Plan, nationalization of industry, free this and free that, everything absolutely free. But oh no, they never tell you the cost. You frugal people right here in North Carolina know they cost money, and they must be paid for out of toil and sweat, out of high taxes, out of high living costs, and out of your hard-earned dollars. All of these proposals the government bosses make, notwithstanding your government is operating again in the red. Now, fellow Americans, get ready for a shock. The first session of the Democrat 81st Congress appropriated and authorized $50,991 million. That's an all-time high for all people. And may I point out that in 1947 and 48, when the Republican Party was in control of the Congress, the national income reached an all-time high. The $8.5 billion surplus accumulated under the wise, constructive policies of that Congress is gone. It melted away with a decline in business and drop in farm prices after the people woke up on the morning of November the 3rd, 1948, and found that Mr. Truman had been elected by a minority of the voters of this land. Well, the Republican-aided Congress reduced the national debt $7 billion. But the Truman Democrats, with total disregard for financial stability, are piling up the national debt once again. The mortgage upon the backs of the people increased from a post-war low of $251 billion reached